Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. I'm so happy to be back for a new Sophisticated Saturday video. This is my first video, a Saturday video filming again after I had our second baby boy. His name is Henry, if you haven't seen the news yet. Older brother Owen is doing pretty well adjusting to the change of having a second baby around. I'm doing really well, finally feeling a little bit more like myself, but easing back into things. So you may see in today's video some clips of me holding Henry as I go around cleaning the house as I normally do. I just started off by picking up the living room, lots of toys from Owen playing. I also needed to empty the dishwasher, and I am going to do a little bit of meal prepping with you today. I have a recipe that I want to share that was delicious that Jim and I both really liked. I made a different version for Owen, which I'll show in just a little bit, but I wanted to start off with a clean kitchen before I jumped into cooking.
Dancing in the dark, I bet your heart skips a beat when you see something that reminds you of me. Baby, when you drink tequila, you still picture me there beside you in the dark. Yeah, I hope it hits you hard. It feels good to know you want me.
So today's recipe is a breakfast quesadilla, and there are a few components to it. I'm going to try and prep as much of it as I can because we're going to be having this for dinner, so I want to get things ready while I can right now. Jim and Owen on the weekends have been going to the gym, which we usually do, and I've been staying back with Henry to take care of him, and I'm just still not ready to go exercise yet. So I have been using this time to be as productive as possible. When there's only one kid and a sleeping newborn is pretty easy to get stuff done with, at least this sleeping newborn. He sleeps all the time, and he's just a couple weeks old at this point, so he really is still in that sleepy phase. But I am prepping the green chilies and the chipotle peppers in adobo. I love that flavor, and chopping those together, putting those in a little dish because I'm going to spread those over the tortillas. Then part of the recipe has an avocado jalapeno salsa, so I'm getting that jalapeno cut up. There's some green onions, and then the rest I'll have to save till later because I of course want dinner to be warm when I make it. And there's scrambled eggs in it. I am going to also make some bacon, and then I'll assemble it and put it onto the stovetop on a skillet right before dinner.
But what goes around comes back around. You had to learn the hard.
I, of course, will link this recipe in the description box below. I would highly recommend it. Delicious. And honestly, even if you don't follow this exact recipe, you could do something similar to it and just make like a breakfast egg quesadilla. And I'm sure whatever you do would be delicious.
Tequila, you still picture me there dancing in the dark. I bet your heart skips a beat when you see something that reminds you of me. Baby, when you drink tequila, you still picture me there beside you in the dark. Yeah, I hope it hits you hard.
So many random tasks today. I had some breast milk that I have collected, so I needed to move that to the freezer. It doesn't stay good in the fridge that long, so I was just putting it in a storage bag. You can tell I was on the phone with one of my friends who called. She also is pregnant with her second, so it was kind of fun catching up with her and chatting. And then you'll see when I went back downstairs, Henry was still asleep. I put him on this little pillow next to me so I could watch him while I got some computer work done. I've been busy working on sending out emails for the Sophisticated Declutter. I've been editing YouTube videos, and then random little things that I always have to do to keep our household running. So then Henry started to stir a little bit, and we needed to get out of the house because I actually had an appointment today. So I went to go change his diaper before packing him up and getting ready to go. And then on the way home, we did pick up a grocery pickup order from Target. I needed a few things, and then I also needed avocado to make that avocado salsa because I either had avocados that were way too soft or way too hard. I'm just unloading the groceries here and putting things in the fridge or in the pantry, wherever they go. I didn't do a huge order. I have a couple of recipes in mind of what I'm gonna make, but I do probably need to sit down, go through my recipe binders, and do a little bit more meal planning for the rest of the week, and then do another grocery order to get us through the week. But this was all I could think of right now, just to get the groceries ordered that we needed for dinner and a few other things.
Think you really need me to, but never said it out loud. Come on, baby, drive me insane, leave me burning. If this is the end, promise me that it's worth it. I know it's getting late.
Because it is a little bit later in the day, it is now close enough to dinner time that I think I can start assembling and making the other components of the breakfast quesadillas. At least I can start making the bacon. I got the eggs cracked, so I can start cooking those. And when you cook the eggs, you want to do them a little bit undercooked, because you're going to add them into the quesadilla and heat them up even more, so they'll continue to cook. For the bacon, I like to make it really, really nice and crispy, so I started doing that in layers, and it'll take a couple because I'm using a little bit smaller of a skillet, but I just monitored those as I continued to put groceries away.
You keep coming back, still saying you're not like that. Come on, baby.
The other thing that I wanted to make with this recipe, which was not part of it, but I thought it would go really well, was some potatoes, and I cut them more like wedges instead of French fries. Was thinking more of like a breakfast potato, but didn't look up a recipe. I just cut them the way I felt was best. I usually cook potatoes when I'm doing like a French fry or a potato like this at a temperature like 400, 425, something like that. I sprinkle some olive oil on it with lots of salt, some pepper, garlic powder usually. I did parsley with these. A lot of times I'll do dill, sometimes paprika, but I just mix up the spices depending on what I'm making. I could have done maybe more like taco seasoning or something to match this meal a little bit better, but with the spices I put on it, it still turned out great, and we all loved it. I got those potatoes in the oven. Henry is asleep again, so I decided to hop into my office, and I put something on my iPad so I could listen/watch while I clean up a little bit. I still have stuff from the hospital, like medical forms that I need to put away. I have my baby books that I'm trying to fill out. I was actually filling out a survey from the hospital right now. I know that's completely optional, but I had great nurses and felt like I wanted to fill out that form and send it back to the hospital to let them know what I thought. So I took the time to do that and got a few other things done in my office before heading back to the kitchen.
I still recall the first time I saw you. I was so nervous to talk. Happened so fast. Went from so lonely to falling asleep in your arms. I used to be afraid to fall in love. My past relationship was a disaster, but now I don't care. 'Cause you took my scars, bruises and broken heart, numbed all the pain, show me how to heal, and now I don't feel broken anymore.
Bacon was done, so I have my assembly line started here. I am adding pepper jack cheese, just shredded up, crumbled bacon, and I'm also going to add in those green onions that I chopped up. The recipe, I think, said green onions or chives, but I bought green onions and just used that for the whole recipe and topped it with some cheddar cheese, a generous handful of arugula, then got the tops of the tortillas prepped with the chipotle peppers in adobo and green chili mixture that I chopped up earlier in the day, spread that around, and then was about to get the eggs cooking, but Henry woke up, so I grabbed him. He's joining me for the remainder of making dinner. I soft scrambled those eggs like I mentioned, and then put them on top of the quesadillas, closed them up, and they were ready to cook.
Show me how to heal, and now I don't feel broken.
I put in the skillet a quesadilla for Owen first because I wanted it to cool down a little bit. I did more of a basic quesadilla, nothing spicy in there. So I got his plate prepped while that cooked. I always like to add a little bit of a fruit as an option, a veggie if I can, if it's not already incorporated into the meal, just give him a little bit more variety. So I got grapes out and an orange for him and chopped those grapes into quarters and got the orange cut into manageable slices for him.
Caught up in the pain.
The potatoes were still finishing up cooking in the oven, but I did pull out a few for him so they can cool off again. I don't want him eating anything too hot. And then his quesadilla was done, so I cut it into cute little slices for him, and then his dinner was all ready.
Numbed all the pain. Show me how to heal, and now I don't feel.
And if you're thinking to yourself, she was just holding Henry because Henry woke up, where is he now? He fell back asleep. We keep a pack and play in our kitchen/living room, like in between the two. So I set him down so I could use two hands to finish up cooking. And here is him sleeping. This looks like a still image, but I'm telling you, it is a video of him sleeping and just not moving. So you'll see I pulled the potatoes out. I am in full swing cooking these quesadillas. I got the pizza cutter out so I could cut them into slices and have one cooked, and then I'm gonna put the next one on. And here is Owen's reaction to dinner.
Wait, is this Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Is this Taco? Do we get Taco Bell tonight?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
French fries.
Hey, how'd you know that was French fries?
French
That is it. We are going to enjoy our meal. Thanks so much for joining me for the first Sophisticated Saturday back. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and until next time, I will see you all later.
As I lie here beneath my sheets, thinking about